Welcome back to another Chaos Battle League video. This is the Average Gamer, and today I'm going to highlight a new deck. Now, like last time, they are going to be replays, and I apologize for that. I know a couple of people asked me to do live matches, but as I've explained before, it is very difficult for me to get the live matches, and I'll spend so much time recording and even more time editing out blank time and waiting time, right? So it was just best that I, highlight the replays that I've got available. All right. So without further ado, as you can see on the screen, here's the deck. Yes, that is a 5.0 cost deck. Now I'm going to put some disclaimers out on this, just so everyone kind of gets a clear picture of this deck. First off, if you're not someone who's patient, this deck might not be for you. If you're not sure how to play the generator, this deck might not be for you. It's definitely not for you if you're an aggressive, go-forward type of player. Now, this deck I have tweaked several times because I lost with some older versions. Not against lab employees. I lost, I think, 3 matches to some real players. And so I've made some changes. I had the Captain and I had the Pistoliers in here. And I had the Bohea. And they're all out. I've replaced them with the Pharaoh, the Cryorobot, and the Bolt. Bolt is key, and I realized that after, because most people have the Pyramid or the Mummies to distract the Shogun. So you need Bolt, because Shogun will just two-shot the Pyramid, but the Mummies that spawn out on death will distract them. So having Bolt is really key on that. So I put the Bolt in there instead. So the deck works. The 3 Little Pigs is more of a surprise tactic, and in all honesty, I don't use it in every match. And there's even some matches I didn't even get a chance to use the generator properly. The generator is tricky, however, and it can be the deck's weakness. But at the same time, it can also be its strength. And what I mean by that is when you play the generator, ideally you want to start the match off with the generator in your hand, so you can get it going. That sets you back 6 energy. And a lot of times, if your opponent is smart, they'll rush you and try and take a tower or try and do some heavy damage to a tower. All right? So that's kind of the weakness side of this deck, because it does set you back. However, once you get the generator down and then you're able to get another one down, boy oh boy, this deck can be unstoppable. This is a 3-star deck. This is a deck that you'll use. You'll get a lot of 3-star wins with it. But you also have to be okay with taking damage because of the generators, or even giving up a tower, sacrificing a tower, so you can keep those generators going. All right, so that's, if you're not comfortable with that, it might not be a deck for you. Now, the other thing about the generator is it's a Moby Dick and Cannonball bait, and what I mean by that is you can really put your opponent into a dilemma, and that dilemma being, if they have Moby Dick and Cannonball, and you put the generator down, they're usually going to Cannonball or Moby Dick it. Moby Dick usually, I think, takes it out completely. Cannonball will leave it with just a sliver of health. So what they're going to do is prevent you from building the energy, and of course, you're wasting the 6 on the elixir after placing it. But guess what? That leaves them vulnerable to the 3 Little Pigs. All right? So then you can play the 3 Little Pigs. So now your opponent knows you've got the generator, and you've got the 3 Little Pigs. So now they've got to figure out what they're going to do. Are they going to risk you building up all kinds of energy on them, so you can get that big advantage and get like a 2, even 3 Shoguns down? And in that turn, Cannonball or Moby Dick the Little Pigs? Or are they going to Cannonball or Moby Dick the generator and risk taking heavy damage from the 3 Little Pigs? You see what I mean? They got to decide which one of those 2 cards are they going to take out, all right? And at the end of the day, I think doing either or, it's not going to matter, because you're really going to punish them. I mean, if they get rid of that generator and they have nothing to stop them 3 Little Pigs, say goodbye to your tower, or their tower, right? So, I mean, that's sort of the way this playstyle goes with this deck. I mean, you're not comfortable. It might not be the deck for you. But I thought, hey, I want to do something that's really not meta. There are obviously meta cards in here, but you're not going to see any 5.0 meta decks. You're just not. You've seen even anything over 4 will be rare. Most decks are 4.0 and under, so that's where this deck kind of stands out. I've debated on removing the Cannonball, but I do like it for taking out buildings that people put in place to block the Shogun. So I've decided to keep it, and it has worked out quite well. The Pharaoh is pretty good at taking out the dwarves, coupled with the Gatling turret. I have a newfound love for the Gatling turret because it does actually quite a good bit of damage and can really take down a tank. It's got a short range, but so it won't hit. It definitely doesn't hit Cryorbot, and I can't remember if it'll hit. It definitely won't hit Van Helsing. It definitely won't hit Bohea, and I can't remember if it will hit. It won't hit the little pigs either because I think they got a range of 6. And I believe, will it hit the Alchemist? I don't think it'll even hit the Alchemist. Let's see. No, it will not hit the Alchemist either, I don't think. No, it won't. So, it's a few cards it won't hit, but that's not a big deal. It actually takes out the dwarves quite well. So, paired up with, like I said, the Pharaoh. The Cryorbot, not such a good card for the dwarves. Too slow, so I don't recommend it. So this is the deck. So we're going to jump into some replays here. Let's go here. So I'm going to show you I have Crabs one. Again, I don't have Crabs. I'm going to show you the Sir Dunnigan one. And I think we'll start with this. I think I'll show you the Sailwind one. Yeah. As you can see, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3-star wins. That's what type of deck this is. And you lose towers. Yeah, I lost tower here, and you got to be willing to sacrifice those towers. So let's just jump right in, and we're going to talk. I said start off with the Sailwind one. These are all good players, all of them. Sir Dunnigan, I have Crabs, and Sailwind. I don't face Sailwind too much anymore. I think because he's level 10. Oh no, he's level 11. Okay, I just don't play him much anymore. All right, so here you go. Here's my starting hand, and it's a pretty good defensive starting hand, and also has the generator. And as you can see, I immediately start with the generator. A lot of people will also use the 7 dwarves to counter the generator. I found that if that's the case, I put the 7 dwarves directly in front of your main king tower. Now I don't know what's. Oh, okay. I don't know what was going on there. I think it might have been lagging. I'm not too sure. Anyways, he actually had the. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. The Mothership that pretty much took that out, and it was a positive trade for him. As you can see here, I got a counter push going on, and I didn't have to use the bolt there because the Pharaoh was the one that was able to help take out the little skeletons. So at this point in time, he's tower down, and I've decided to punish him at the same time and see if I can go for the other tower. As I said, this deck it can be pretty aggressive at times. Most times you're going to be sitting back and sort of playing things out. But at that point in time, I kind of knew where things were. And so at that point in time, now he's down to now he's down 2 towers, and I feel quite comfortable at this point in time. He does get a tower. So that's that. There's also that to consider. I don't know what was going on at this point in time. Oh yeah, I decided to try to just go for the tower. I think I might have thought he was going to give up, but I'm not too sure. All right. Again, I usually use the pigs as a surprise tactic. Now, the reason why I put the Pharaoh in is because he's actually pretty good at taking down the Trojan horse, especially paired with the Cryorbot. Now, that wasn't a really good example, but the tower was pretty much gone anyway, so the tower was going to be taken down at some point in time. Because the mummies that come out will distract the Spartans once the Trojan horse explodes. So there's that to keep in mind. So as you can see here, I'm just putting pressure on that tower. I'm just trying to, I want to get the 3 crown. I don't want to be the 3 crown 3-star. So I don't even play Clash Royale much, and I keep throwing out Clash Royale terms. It's hard for me to really see what's going on because there's that glitch where the energy is not going down. Anyways, he freezes everything here. 3 little pigs easily clean that up. Again, you're going to take damage with this deck because it is heavy. A lot of your cards you're going to play are going to be heavy. But at this point in time, we're getting near the end of the match. I know at this point in time that I'm either going to lose that tower. I'm not going to lose. I knew I was going to lose, but I figure I might lose that tower. But that's okay, because look where I have his king tower at. At this point in time, it's just a matter of time for it to go down, and it goes down great play by him. He's a good player. I haven't played him in quite a while. So anyways, we'll continue. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump into another one here. Sorry, I got a dirt on my screen over there. All right. I don't know why I was doing that now. All right, let's get into the next one against Sir Donegan. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay. Where are you, Sir Donegan? All right. Let's get him going here. Okay. As I said, guys, it is very... I'm hoping the matchmaking changes. It was a little, you know, isn't that a big deal to me? I always hit 10K, so I would have gotten the Grandmaster 3. But I did hit my goal of 7,200. I didn't think I actually passed it. I didn't think I was going to get even past the 6,600 mark, and I got to almost 7,500, I think. I didn't really notice there. I didn't pay much attention. All right. So here we go. So he got pretty aggressive there, but we were able to defend it really well. Plus, I was able to get a generator down. So I did take some damage on that right tower, quite a bit actually, more than half, or not quite half, sorry. But it wasn't a big deal. Took a little bit on the other side, but with a good fireball and a pretty good push on the other side there, I'm able to take that tower pretty quick. As I said, this deck is very punishing, and as you can see, the fireball so far has come in handy a couple times. So it's something I really decided I was going to leave in. I had a couple options. I was debating the Medusa or Vampire, well, same thing, or Dracula in its place, something that costs about the same. So here we go. I put down another generator. So I got two generators. I really wish you could see how fast your energy generates when you've got these down, especially with having two. But here we go here. Now, what ends up happening is I get aggressive. Because I've got the two generators down, I can afford to be aggressive. And I feel comfortable at this point in time, just the way the match is going, that I am going to get all 3 stars. It was just a matter of time. I was actually worried about his Pelican, but I was able to actually clean it up pretty good with the Pharaoh, coupled with the Cannonball, and of course that Gatling Tower that does actually pretty good damage. So here we go. I got another generator down, and that's what I'm trying to say about this deck. Don't be afraid to put the energy generator down. You're going to take damage. I've got 2 towers down in health. One is pretty much almost gone. The other one is down to almost half. But at the end of the day, I know with the deck and with what I can do with it that I'm going to be fine. As you can see, again, Shogun coupled with the Gatling Tower, coupled with the Karabot was a solid defense. You are going to get some damage done by the Trojan horse. It's going to be hard to mitigate it all unless you put a building down directly in front of it. And here we go. So I'm locked onto this tower. At this point in time, I know this tower is down, and it's just a matter of getting the third one. And there we go. See this? The energy generators. Look at this. 2 Shoguns plus a Cryorobot. Good luck stopping that. That is going to be something tough to do. That's really tough to do. And there we go. So anyways, I threw the heal down, but it didn't really matter. It was a little late. One of my matches with the previous version of the deck, I actually had 3 Shoguns down. Excuse me. And it was quite funny to watch. But it was against a lab employee. But it was still fun to watch. All right, guys. We're getting into the last one. Again, it's versus Crabs. I played this one this morning. I've actually tried several times to get more matches. And you can see this was 2 hours ago. I've probably tried about 50 times since then. I just can't get any more matches. But as you can see, as I said, I'm at 74.61. I didn't even think I was going to get I thought I was going to struggle just to get 6,600, let alone 7,200. So it was nice. Anyways, let's get into this. Nothing rambling on that. Let's watch the last one here. Actually, the old version of the deck, Crabs actually was one of the ones that beat me. And kudos to him, but the deck also wasn't working proper. I just didn't like how it worked. And he also has the dwarves. The dwarves you got to accept are going to do damage. You have to accept that. At this point in time, I do not believe there's anything that will mitigate their damage 100%. That may change down the road, but it is what it is. Now, I did not want. A lot of times, I'm willing to take some damage. I did not want him to get that charge on because I also knew he had the dwarves coming at some point in time, and I was not going to gamble. I don't want to lose a tower this early in the match. I'll take some damage, yes, because as I said, I knew he was going to have the dwarfs. I knew based on the deck that he played last time, the dwarfs were going to be there. All right, so I was able to do a counter push on the other side, get some solid damage in, and almost take out his Dracula. Unfortunately, my poor Shogun does not make it there. And we put the Pharaoh down for... I just love the Pharaoh. I'm not too sure. It just seems like it's just a good card. I really find it's just solid on defense and great going in on the offensive push with a tank, of course, not in its current state. I really wish the mummies spawned a bit quicker. It was nerfed. It used to spawn quicker. I wish it was increased a little bit. It seems a little slow, but that's okay. So this is what we call basically like a triangle defense. I mentioned it before, where you will separate your cards to make sure they're not in a cannonball radius, and ideally even a Moby Dick radius. So here we go. I'm not doing any generators right now, and that's simply because I'm feeling confident of the pace of the match and where it's going. And I also know he has those dwarves, and playing the generator can be risky with the dwarves. He may also use the dwarves to take out the generator. So here we go. Again, I'm feeling nice and confident at this point in time that tower is eventually going to be going down. We got a minute left. He does defend the pigs quite well. Pigs, as I said, they're very situational. I'm not too sure how I feel, and I've thought about replacing them with something else. I'm just not too sure what. I've even thought about replacing them with the Pelican, so as another win condition card, but I don't know. Anyways, again, I knew he was going to have the dwarves coming. That I knew. So I was expecting to lose the tower, and I was okay with it. I'm already up 2 towers, and I got the other one down to under 1,000. It's on fire. So I had no issues knowing that with either the Shogun or the Trojan horse is going to take it out. And there it goes. The 3-star victory. So, that is this deck in action. And again, just to remind you, you have to be willing to take damage and even lose a tower. You got to be willing to make those sacrifices. This deck works best that way. If you're going to sit there and you're going to sit there and kind of defend and do whatever you can to not take damage, it's not going to be the deck for you, because this deck it's got a lot of firepower. I mean, a lot. The 3 card, well, the Cannonball is good, but you know, Shogun, Trojan horse, and 3 little pigs with some solid defensive cards, the Crowbot and the Pharaoh. This deck packs a mean punch, but to use it effectively, as I said, you need to be willing to sacrifice damage and potentially a tower. Otherwise, it's not going to be for you. And you also want to make sure you're using generator properly. As you can see, I didn't always use it. When I get Sir Donegan, I was able to keep 2 down, and that's really your goal, is having 2 down. Against crabs, once the pace of the match was going, I kind of felt comfortable that I don't really need to use the generator. I was also worried he might use the dwarves to take it out, and then the dwarves will go on to also do damage to my tower, to the other tower. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to really bother with it. Again, you will get a feel for it in certain matches, especially against lab employees. I would go against lab employees and never use it. But that's a whole other ball game. Again, this is the deck. If you want to try it out, I recommend it. And one of the other things you can see about this is there's no legendaries. But I mean, there's only 1 common in it. But the bonus is a lot of my decks always contain 1, but usually 2 different legendary cards. But in this case, I do not have any. So it's a solid deck for anyone who's unlocked these cards and you've got them at a decent level. I really am frustrated because I'm not getting any Shoguns anywhere. It's been stuck in like that 85, 88 range for like weeks. I really want him to level 7. I can't wait to get him to level 7. Hopefully it'll be soon. Hopefully I'll get him in the shop, or maybe I'll get a super luxury offer for 25k and he'll be in there. Who knows? Anyways, guys, if you have any questions about this deck or any other deck, or if you want suggestions of building a deck, definitely hit me up in the comments. Contact me on Discord. I'll gladly help you out. I help out a lot of people on Discord. I get a lot of private messages there of people just wanting deck advices and card advices, and and helping them build the deck that's going to help them be successful. One of the things I'm going to point out as well, and it's something that I forgot to mention in my last video in the Pro Tips series, is you always need to remember not to overcommit on offense, but also do not overcommit on defense. And that goes back to learning your cards and understanding what they can do, because sometimes you're just always going to take damage. There's just some pushes you can't mitigate 100% of the damage. So rather than, overplaying and spending too much energy defending, let them do some damage, and do more of a minimal defense with your cards. This will really help you conserve energy and really help you to go on a really good counter push. All right, so keep that in mind, and that's one of the things with this deck as well, is be careful and just pace yourself on defense and don't overcommit. This deck is designed, as I said, to take damage and potentially even take and lose a tower. All right, guys. Again, if you like the video, please smash the like button. I really appreciate it. The channel's been growing, and I appreciate everyone for that. All your likes and comments and subscriptions, it really goes a long way for me. And I really want to get Chaos Battle League out there. I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's probably the best mobile game in my personal opinion at this point in time, especially in this genre. So keep that in mind. And yeah, guys, again, hit me up on Twitter as well. The link is always in the description. And until next time, guys, keep a little chaos in your life.